What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to cover what's going on in the crypto space, some things going on with crypto junkies and some updates there, and we're going to talk about BTC. So this is similar to my new format that I've been doing on the hit or miss live streams. I have been out for about the last day and a half. Got what seemed to be food poisoning, probably the worst in my life, to where I almost had to be taken to the hospital because I got so dehydrated. But I'm back and better. I'm not at my full energy level, as you can tell in this video, but I feel good. You know, I'm holding down food. It's a good step forward, all right? So that's where I've been. What you see in front of you, I just sent this off to one of our devs. This is the new crypto index page that will get listed in the members access tool, so it'll show up here, and it's basically going to go over everything that I've been covering lately with the Hasbot index. If you don't know what Hasbot is, you need to search around, figure that out. Go to their website, hasonline.com. It is a bot that you control. It's just a trading bot. There's plenty of these out there: Profit Trailer, Crypto Hopper, a lot of other ones. But yeah, Hasonline is definitely my favorite. I think for the most part a community favorite. They've got a new index tool that's out, and there's the CCI 30, which you've been following along with. So all of that's going to be roped into one section in a members area for you to get access to all of that together, and we're going to be growing this out. I've got some TD Ameritrade stuff I'm going to be adding, and some other S&P 500 stuff I'll be adding too, to help those that are looking to bridge out of crypto into regular commodities and S&P 500 market. You'll have something there too. All right, so that's what's going on with crypto junkies. Let's talk about some news, just a couple quick pieces. The most fascinating piece I found was this one right here. Apparently, strippers are now accepting Bitcoin with QR tattoos. Like, it's nothing new that they're accepting Bitcoin, but they're literally getting these QR tattoos, and you just scan that with your wallet. I don't have any wallet apps on my phones. I think that's a little stupid to do that myself, just because the security of a phone is so questionable. But if you do that, then you can scan the QR code on whatever body part they have it on. You can pay for your lap dances, and you can, whatever, pay for something by scanning that. I think it's fascinating and a little, I don't know, it's just like weird at the same time, right? Like, yeah, I don't know what to think about it overall. Also too, what if you ever change your wallet or you lose your wallet address? Then I don't really know what's going to happen there, but you'll be out of luck, or maybe just get a new tattoo, try and redo that tattoo. I don't know. Next piece, this is another slander piece put against Bitcoin. You know, you got to understand something. The wealthy and the rich of the world, they can do this, and they definitely fear cryptocurrency to a degree, whether or not they want to admit this. They fear what it represents. They fear the sheer size of people that are getting rich off of cryptocurrency, that are getting financially free, that are able to have any money. You know, they have vested interest in this stuff too. They have businesses that are formed in and around different key pieces of our economy, and it is a big deal for them when something like this comes out. So Bill Gates has basically said people have died from this. All they're using cryptocurrency for is buying drugs and a bunch of other stupid stuff that most people just laughed at. And so, yeah, wow, look at this. They actually did quite a bit. They did quite a bit of digging. Overall, this is not the first time Gates has criticized cryptocurrencies for lacking transparency, but they are transparent, especially Bitcoin.
However, at the time, he was far more optimistic for Bitcoin, saying Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to physically be in the same place. And of course, large-scale transactions get pretty inconvenient. He was very cautious in 2015.
You see, overall, he still takes a pretty negative approach towards cryptocurrencies. I don't know. You see a lot of big talking heads come out and say very similar things. You just wonder, like, why are they all talking from similar scripts? You know, why are they all saying the same stuff? And it's like, it takes you 2 minutes of research to realize that the big silver bullets that they got, the big talking points, they're not even really talking points at all. Like, why wouldn't you do a little bit more research and give me something good? You know, give me something to, like, put me back on the ropes instead of this conversation of people dying and buying drugs off it. Like, just nobody's really buying that anymore. So anyway, that was kind of a comical piece. Good piece. 35 nations and EU want better cryptocurrency policies. So an international financial action task force that is basically going and attempting to connect the globe in a different way with cryptocurrency and digital currencies to also ensure safety across the grid and across the country lines. And so they're going to be continuing to meet up and work on these things. The SEC and FCC are also involved in this in some sort of way. They're constantly sitting in on this and distilling this information and pushing it out to us. Okay, so this I think is a good thing overall. There is a ton to be concerned with still with cryptocurrency, even just down to something as simple as on Twitter on a daily basis there are fake accounts from crypto influencers all the way up to John McAfee who, hey, send me 0.2 ETH and I'll send you 2 ETH back. First off, why the f would anyone do that? You know what I mean? So I guess to a degree we can use the adage, if you're dumb enough to send it, then... But it is so new and there are so many people coming into the space that they don't maybe understand it. And I don't know, maybe they're mistaking the Satoshi marks. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But I think after you spend a little bit of time researching, it becomes obvious what's going on with that. But again, to be fair, the usernames look the same. Like somebody could spoof mine and they could comment in my comments. They could block me so I don't see what they're posting. And they could go out there and just create havoc and get a bunch of Bitcoin off of people that don't know any better. And so just something as simple as that is an issue. And there's things much bigger than that. There's problems much bigger than that. Like, let's just look at the whole thing with BitConnect. Let's look at the whole thing with Devor. And those aren't even the first ones. There's been 70 or 80 now, you know, lending platforms, high yield, high interest, whatever you want to call them, platforms that have basically exited with a shitload of Bitcoin that they now have and the investors don't. So no matter how you chalk that up, it's a scam. They ended up with all of your money and you didn't end up with your money. That's what we call a scam. So there's been over 80 of those now in just the last couple years of Bitcoin's, you know, more popularity. So you got a lot of people with some opinions on the Bill Gates piece. So yeah, that's that. I think that's a good thing overall. I also think it's a good thing to start kind of melting the lines of the world in the sense that it should be easier for countries to communicate than it is still. With the technology that we have, it being 2018, like I just thought we would have been further along by now with some things. And one of them is definitely how nations work together. The ego of nations, I just thought would have been a lot lower by now because just what we've all gone through, you know. And at some point, I think we'll realize that there's more similarities between us all than differences, and you know, we can accept each other hopefully at a higher level and a higher degree. I was going to talk about cloud mining site, but I'm not going to. You see it in the tab, you can see that there. I'm not going to talk about that actually because I don't want to. I might say some shit that I don't want to be saying. Look at BTC on the 1 day. All right, let's get rid of this. So the big significant thing I want to call to your attention on the 1 day is the following. The triple swing. This is a big bullish indicator. 2 engulfing and a small in between on a 1 day is fairly significant. The third being bigger than the first. So this is a bullish indicator. This is very good sign. I deleted my lines that I had. I don't know why. No, maybe I didn't. If you've been following along, I keep having issues with my trading view. Maybe it was Bitstamp I had it all on. No, they wiped that too. Okay. Sad day. Very sad day. Let's draw some new lines. All right, so these are just historic lines that are definitely significant on the 1 day, and they are also points where we've interacted with that line quite a bit on both support and resistance. So there's another one up in here. It's down a little lower, right there at the bottom of that. That's not going to be perfect, but there's one in this zone here where we've interacted and bounced off of it as support, and it's served as resistance, okay? And the next line that we're looking at is this 11,175. I'd say would be the next most appropriate line. And the reason why that's a line is because you saw this wick here. That in and of itself is a significant line, okay? And you see here, it's not just this. We interacted with it here, both sides. So it acted as a resistance here, and then the next day, support. And we've interacted with it all along here with wicks touching on both support and resistance. Here again, it's acted as resistance. So this will be the next mile marker to keep an eye on the 1 day. And then we start to build more of a bullish case when we can close above this, this yellow line on a 1 day candle, okay? And if you look, let's add back in our other indicators here. Just some simple stuff. With RSI on a 1 day, I also look at the 50 line as a pretty significant line to be able to stay above that in a 1 day, which we saw some good action here when these are a couple solid days where once again we faced resistance at this 11,175-ish line. and we're above the 50 again. So we'll see if we can finally break through this resistance line again. It's this is a very significant line for us on the 1-day chart. So if you're a long-term holder or just gotten into the market, maybe down here on the dip, that's the next goal that we've got. We've got a, what do we got here, a MACD crossover. Oh no, it's shrinking a little bit. They're getting tighter together, the blue and the red. We are over the top side of the histogram, which is bullish. We haven't formed this last one to know, are we at the same level or higher? See, it even removed my timer. I don't know why my countdown isn't showing. I don't know how much time is left in the 1 day, but we've got some convergence happening on the MACD lines. We've got above 50 on RSI. So these are all confluence pieces for bullish case. Our volume is pretty consistent with what we've been seeing overall. Let's look at coin market cap. All right, so BTC dominance. We've been floating between 33 and 40%. That I think is good. Total market cap 461 billion, 182 billion in Bitcoin, which it's been floating in that 160 to 190 billion market cap. It fluctuates quite a bit day to day. But yeah, that's a quick case on Bitcoin itself. So it's pretty exciting. It looks like we might be taking another bull run at this thing. Definitely shaping up differently than the parabolic curve that we saw before. Don't let that fool you. I think a lot of people do. They think that because we saw this huge parabolic growth in 2017, that's how all growth should look. Definitely don't have bias on that, because it won't, and that's not how normal markets grow anyways. You could zoom out and it would probably all look pretty similar on a 1 week or a 1 month. This whole deviation here would probably look much smaller the more you zoomed out at it, right? So we would still fairly look parabolic, but it's definitely that the original curve that we had here, you see from here to here, this nice swing slope up, we've definitely lost that. This here, this slope up, you know, we broke it just here, and then we haven't come back from that. So this, you know, this whole parabolic curve is been broken. It is not intact at all. But yeah, that's the next line to look at, is that zone. If we were to just do, you could get further confluence with some fib lines. Okay, so it did keep my favorites. Okay, good job, guys. Good job. Did it keep all my settings? And what do you know? That's right in line with the 382, which is a great line. We've kind of bounced our way out of the 236, which is good. The next one on our list is the 382. So what I would suggest in terms of zones would be a little bit higher and a little bit lower. So like right in there, your opportunity zone right there. Okay, that's what we're looking at. And then what we'll be looking for after that is somewhere around this 50% line, which if you look here, this once again interacts from both a support and a resistance standpoint with price action. So the next one would be somewhere in there. Get rid of this. Fibs are great, especially on a 1 day. They tell you quite a bit. So these are kind of our primary zones. They interact quite a bit with price action. This one, we have a long wick touching into that. We have some support happening here. Not really here. It kind of chops the last little bit of these candles off. That fits with a 50% fib retracement, which is good. And that'll be our next zone. If we can break through and close above here, that's a very, very strong indicator. All right, that's it for Bitcoin, and I think that'll be it for this video. Like I said, I'm still kind of a little bit low-key, going slow at this thing today, and probably for the next couple days, because I'm still pretty dehydrated. Also too, not really have any stimulants or coffee or anything over these next couple days. Well, I'm recovering, but you know, crypto doesn't sleep, and I got to keep you guys in the loop and updated. So that's what's going on with everything. That's what's going on with Crypto Junkies side. Obviously, get into the Discord if you aren't already. Conversation, I love it. It's morphed quite a bit over the last couple months, from being predominantly talking about get-rich-quick lending programs to talking about real nuts and bolts that build solid long-term portfolios. So it's exciting to see the community shift like that, and very, very proud to be a part of it. Join in on the conversation. Get involved. We've got everything slivered out nice and easy into channels for you to follow along with. And of course, we'll be rolling out the exclusive member access to the whole community very, very soon. We're just testing it right now with a small beta group, and that'll be out for you guys soon. If this is the first time you checked out our videos and you like what we're doing here, then show us some love. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you're telling YouTube, yes, I really, really want these notifications to hit my inbox, and you'll be notified when we go live, which we'll have a live stream coming up later this week, and you'll be notified when we upload new fresh content. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you very, very soon, my friends. Bye.